Is this where he was standing? I'm just gonna waltz in here and pretend that we're not scared. Yeah, that's exactly. He was standing exactly here. Not creepy at all. Is this the library? No? Just a therapy room? Stop it. Where did the guy go? Yeah. Sure. Fuck you, game. I feel cheated in like threefold at this point of time. First of all, this game was supposed to be just 2 hours long. Second of all, it was not supposed to be horror. That looks like the library. Oh no, I need to code his office. Third of all, does the music mean that he's here? No?
The Adventures of Walter Brandon, the intrepid captain of the Stella Maris, braving the treacherous South Seas. What in the devil does this mean?
When Captain Walter Brandon and his sloop is caught in the midst of violent storm, it seems his fate is sealed. But by some miracle, he managed to survive clinging to a splintered spar from his wrecked vessel. After enduring a long road at sea, he washed ashore a distant island where he will stay for many months on continental adventures. Peter Sanders. $13.65. Just in case we need it. Two possibilities. Is it fiction? Psychology. Two possibilities. Either one of the patients stole the identity of Walter Brandon from a fictional book and pretended to be him. Probably the violent patient from BO3. Or actually, the Walter Brandon was actually here and that's someone wrote a book about him. If he actually existed and came to this asylum. I'm leaning to the first theory right now. Internal note on patient organization cataloging. For the swift and proper cataloging of patients, a system of labeling is employed in which each patient is assigned a number corresponding to the room they occupy. The passcode to access each patient cell is the discharge number assigned upon admission. Discharge number assigned upon admission. The number must be consulted mission register on the individual patient record. Should the patient be transferred to another location in the institution, their cataloging will be amended according to the new room in which they are assigned. Patients classified as dangerous, whether to themselves or to others, are housed in the basement specially adapted cells designed to ensure their isolation and safety. This area is designed as Area B. The ground floor contains the common areas of the establishment, such as the kitchen, dining hall, administrative office, where the matters related to paperwork are handled. A small first aid room and their archives containing the record documents pertaining to staff and inmates are also located here. The doctor's office is situated on the second floor, in which the assigned area medical care. However, an exception is made for the office of Dr. Mulder, director of sanatorium, who occupies the third floor. On the second floor, one will also find the rooms of male patients area M and female patients area F. It is important to note that the attic, which previously used as a recreation room and for therapeutic activities, has been permanently closed due to its unsuitable and safe and structural condition. The system as organization's cataloging has been designed to maintain proper control and safety for all inmates. Interesting name, not patients but inmates, as well as ensure efficient management of their sections of the asylum. Asylum Migrant Administrative Secretary, Westland Asylum. Mission Register. Admission Register. The myth of psychology. In the shadows of forgotten myths like the story of Psyche, the soul herself, driven by longing to reunite with her lost love, Cupid, also known as Eros, god of love, desire, and irresistible attraction. Her path leads downward into the depths of the underworld. There, she must retrieve a golden box said to contain the trace of Persephone's beauty. Persephone, whatever your English pronunciation is, goddess of spring and fertility, and yet also somber queen of the dead. But Psyche is warned, do not open the box. Still, hope is a dangerous thing. Perhaps she believed that the touch of divine beauty would make her worthy again of Cupid's eyes. Perhaps it was simply curiosity, that old companion of tragedy. She opens the box. But there is no beauty in sight, only darkness, and deathly sleep seeps out, wrapping her in silence. Her body falls still, suspended between life and death, and so she enters the hidden kingdom, the realm of madness. I see. So she just Marin finally patient 1365 has returned the book. Every time they borrow it, it takes a month to bring it back. When it's not him, it's that girl. I can't even imagine how many times they've read it. But there are other patients who also requested it, and I've made a decision to take it off the shelf and place it under the custody of the one who opened the golden box. If anyone asks for it, it will be there. Okay, so they took the fiction book and put it into psychology, I guess. And that would mean that the dude did take the identity of Walter. Asylum cooks provide bowl. That thing will make noise when I turn it on.
Patient recording, Elodie Fordside, February 3rd, 1922. Daily record number 23. Let us begin. How are you feeling today, Miss Fordside?
Incriminating
I
record.
feel well.
Elodie, we have discussed this before. If you do not tell me how you truly feel, we will make no progress.
I feel a little sad, perhaps. I am alone here. I miss my mother and having company. So much time with nothing to do makes me think of things I do not wish to think of.
I'd
I
say.
see. Listen, Elodie. I believe you are looking at this the wrong way. If, instead of dwelling on what you call dark thoughts, you were to focus on possibilities, your outlook would change entirely. A young, beautiful woman such as yourself should look to the future with excitement. Think of all the adventures that lie ahead. Your family, your career as a painter. Perhaps even finding a man.
Ooh.
A man
Can I
of
murder
good
him?
standing. One who could protect you from your demons.
A man?
Tell me, Elodie, is there no man who stirs your heart?
What in God's name do you think you're doing?
Miss Fordside, you may go. We shall continue later.
Very well.
Who interrupted you? Oh,
Have you lost your mind? Where is your professionalism?
Do not presume to judge my methods with your oh-so-righteous reading therapy.
Methods? The entire hospital is whispering about you. She is a patient, Dr. Mulder, and she is mentally unwell.
she's also
Listen,
barely
Ferdinand,
18.
Stay out of my affairs, and I shall stay out of yours. Or have you forgotten which one of us is the director of this institution?
Do as you please. But if I ever witness such a scene again, I will not remain silent.
Damn fool.
Why are there hearts on this poster between two skeletons? Matthew Carberry, head of maintenance Westland, his ability to fix any malfunction. Above all, how do we know about it? Kind nature toward patients made him beloved and popular figure within the asylum. Traces of his presence can still be found throughout the building. It is possible the country authorities continue to pay him a small stipend, ensure the historic estate maintained minimal level of preservation. Fresh out of nursing school, Miss Norman found a position at this institution. Her academic record was outstanding, and the hospital's management had no hesitation in hiring her as assistant to head nurse Selma Granton. Florence's youth and enthusiasm contrasts sharply with the strictness and rigidity of Nurse Granton, whose protocols and rules feel suffocating to Florence. Head Nurse Granton is a woman with a strong temperament. She does not tolerate disagreements or being contradicted in any way. Deep down, her awareness and her interests show a result of deep apathy after so many years trapped in routine she cannot escape. Despite her strict rules, everyone considers her an excellent professional with many years of experience behind her. Dr. Sheridan represents the modern approach that society should take toward mental illness. His innovative techniques and insatiable hunger for experimentation have opened new doors in the care of treatment of patients. One experiment in particular has drawn interest. He allowed a group of male and female patients to interact freely and found that their spirits calmed, reaching remarkable emotional stability. Dr. Mulder presents the other face of psychiatric medicine, arrogant and vehement. He executes an air of contempt and their estimation toward patients. A firm supporter of shock therapy and violence, he labors strong conversion of Dr. Sheridan's innovative treatments and actively hinders his experiments whenever possible. Recently, he was shown unusual interest in a patient named Elodie, even going so far as to remove her from Dr. Sheridan's care, under whom she had been showing significant improvement. Patient Booth was extremely violent, admitted to an asylum without any formal documentation. According to one report, he attempted to violently approach Elodie Forsyth. So is she Ford side? She's Ford side. Where's the wrong spelling that I saw? Whatever. I'm just getting confused all over the place. Was it mere coincidence or could it be related to her murder? Could be. Following intense course of electroconvulsive therapy and medication, patient P03 appeared to abandon his violent tendencies, entering a state of marked apathy. In accordance with hospital protocol, he was transferred to the first floor and assigned new identification number as an inmate. The archives in good complete file on Valor Frozen record both the admission and discharge, yet no documentation whatsoever exists in Walter Brandon. Why is his file missing? The nursing staff has spoken in harsh tones about the manner in which Dr. Mulder looks at Elodie Forsythe. It is said the maid little effort to conceal his attraction or perhaps something deeper. Okay. In a photograph found in Sheridan's office, he appears alongside several patients. One man stands out, long-haired fellow with a beard, very same who seems to have been following me since the beginning of the investigation. Was he a patient in the asylum? Who the devil is this man? Copy of Inventory Walter Brandon, A Year in Lost Island by Peter Sanders, bound library. Last record borrower's patient 1365. I don't think 1365 is the code to the room. I feel like we need to find his file to know the code to the room. Also haven't found this guy's code. It's about time for us to get jumped again by the dude. There are no codes on these, right? Stop it. I just want to be done with the creepiness. Oh, it is. A 4 number code, so I just need to try all the. No, this is a 5 number code. What am I hallucinating? It is 4. 5-number code. Huh. There's just one missing. Hi there, Walter. What's your real name? I have no idea.
Stella Maris. That was the name of the ship captained by Walter Brandon. That hospital screen is positioned like the sail of a ship.
This must be the key to the attic. Let's see where it leads.
Whose voice was that? Dear Walter, there's something about you that I cannot ignore. A quiet strength, a resolve that feels unshakable. The thought of all you've strained. Huh? The thought of all you've endured fills me with kind admiration I can scarcely put into words. You're unlike anyone I've met. And yet I wonder if you sense it too, the stolen glances, the way time seems to pause. An hour is made. Perhaps it's nothing, or perhaps it's everything. I'm not sure if you're aware, but the night watchman rarely checks the attic on weekends. Some evenings during those quiet moments before we are all sent to bed, I like to slip away and wander up there. There's a peculiar stillness in that place, a kind of peace I find nowhere else. Tonight at 7 sharp, I think I might take one of these little walks. Perhaps it'll find the calm even sweeter. Ha-ha. A rendezvous.
A ship's old helm, tied to the bed, as if it were the quarterdeck of a vessel. This room is the room of a madman. The entire space is arranged as if it were the deck of a ship. Did that man truly come to believe he was a character in an adventure book?
Probably. I have the key to the attic, but I do not have the key to the weird doctor's room. I don't know if I'm missing it or if I'm in the right order. Where did the chain go? There was a chain on this door.
Looks like Elodie found herself a little hideaway to keep practicing her dark craft. Powerful drugs for depression. Anxiolytics. The girl improved, but it seems the doctors were baffled by her mind. Elodie found painting, and with it, a way to spill the shadows that crawled through her mind.
Also, can we address what she's wearing in 1920, whatever year it was, 20 years before? 1945? Are you sure? This was what women in Britain wore in 1925? Especially young, aristocratic women, no matter how disturbed their minds were. Okay, their mind be way up. further up.
Their secret hideaway. Like two reckless teenagers, they started a romance, hidden from the prying eyes of doctors and nurses. An alarm clock. Most likely, they used it to slip back to the second floor before anyone noticed they were gone. For a while, they managed to keep their affair in the shadows, far from the eyes of doctors and nurses. A pair of scissors and a comb. Elodie put in real effort to make him fit the mold of her ideal hero. Hair on the chair, strands on the floor. This is where the transformation took place.
Patient 1365.
She remade patient 1365 in the image of her most secret longings.
Our island. How about we don't actually make noise when he's around? He's gonna come here now. It's kind of sad that Walter didn't actually exist. How many floors does this freaking attic have? The music is hella loud. And I have nowhere else to go. Do I? I haven't found the code to the creepy doctor's room, though. Unless I missed it. Well, by now we can be completely sure that the creepy man and Walter are the same person. with either psychosis or multiple personalities. Doesn't really matter which, does it? Why did he kill her, though? Is the better question. And why did the mother pretend that he didn't and put us? Why did she call us here if she knew who murdered her daughter all along? I feel like I'm missing something. One second. Oh, why is this covered again? Okay, I'm gonna trigger this again, but I'm gonna turn the sound off. No? Hmm. 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 Okay. Don't know how to get go to his room at this point of time. So I think we should go to the attic yet again. At least the music is not playing anymore. Hmm? Okay. Well, that's daring and creepy and dark. Hello?
The room has been decorated to resemble some sort of island in the South Seas.
More like blood.
Of course, I should have guessed.
Oh.
She pulled him into her world. Elodie created Walter Brandon.
Hmm. Interesting.
A draft letter, scratched out and full of corrections.
I don't see the scratch out and full of corrections. Don't worry, everything is in place. I know it won't be easy, but it is crucial that you take the first step. Once they grant you your discharge, Everything will change. I will be ready to follow you to the moment you are out in a safe place far from here. When you speak with the doctors, I want you to repeat the words I've told you with conviction, as though they are the only thing that matters. The shadow is gone, it has vanished. You are now fully yourself once more. Tell them you regret everything that happened, that you cannot just understand how you acted in such a way. Speak of how you have found the peace in reading, how you now wish to live more serenely with purpose. Make them see that the shadow no longer exists, that the darkness has completely faded. They must believe you are free. I know that's not entirely true, but I'm certain that with effort you can control the shadow. They must do it for us, for what lies ahead. They do not see you as you are. They only see you as mere piece in their game. We shall show them that they have no control over our fate. Once you are free, I shall request my discharge as well. My place will be with you, and together we shall make our way to the Bloomsbury Manor. I love you, and I know that soon we'll be free. This is only behind us, and everything we dreamed of will begin to come true. With all my love, Elodie.
She goaded him into leaving the sanatorium. That man was desperately ill. But Elodie's selfishness outweighed what little sense she had. She pushed him too far. If I pieced this together correctly, that Walter was never really Walter at all. There was another personality. She called it the Shadow, a dominant, dangerous force that surfaced again and again in his life. The threads are beginning to unravel. But I need to see this through.
Do I?
What truly happened to Walter Brandon?
Dear Elodie, it has been some weeks since you requested a private session. As both your physician and your friend, I find myself troubled, unable to cast aside the thought of the solitude you spoke of those weeks past, solitude of which we have not since uttered a word. These days, burdened as I am with duty, I shall be confined to my office and— oh, yes, finally we get the code. 39124. Shall be confined within the later hours of the night. Should you or anyone feel the impulse or need for company, don't hesitate to visit me. The code in my office is 39124, Dr. Mulder. More than 2 lines you don't read?
This letter.
Too
At
bad.
the very least,
I
it's
like to
highly
read.
inappropriate.
I like to read, but there is a lot of things about this game that I do not like. I've been definitely how am I supposed to get out of here? Climb back up? That's scary. What if he's waiting for me on top? Such as? Well, there's a couple of things I've been complaining about. First of all, when I look at the Steam description of the game, it said nothing about this game being a horror game. It literally said just puzzle, noir, which means mystery, adventure, zero mentioning of horror elements, which is very much present. Second of all, I have caught them using AI in little ways, which I do not like. And I would usually stop engaging with the game. But since I've already been 3 hours in, might as well see it through. What's more scary, or AI? Oh, AI. Definitely more scary. Third of all, this game was supposed to be 2 hours long, 2.5 hours long. It's been 4 by now. And we are still not done. So I feel like I've been tricked into playing this a little bit. But I can't stop because I don't like the idea of having wasted all this time without actually finding out how this all ends. Why is there blood everywhere in this place? I mean, the 2 hours was written on the How Long to Beat website, not by the devs, so... Usually the How Long to Beat website has been pretty true for me personally, in past experience. But even just walking around takes more than...
Patient number 1365 returns after an absence of 4 months. He's in a state of utter disorientation, perspiration pouring off him, and good heavens, there's a severe wound to the skull. His clothes and hands are covered in blood, and it doesn't appear to be his own. He cannot recall his name, nor anything that's happened during these past months.
So he did kill her.
Seems to have found his way back here more by some strange instinct than by memory itself. The personality once known as Walter has vanished entirely, as has the entity we refer to as the Shadow.
Oh,
Though, given its
Shadow.
nature, I cannot say with certainty it isn't still lurking beneath the surface. We have treated cases of dissociative identity before, but never one such as this. His appearance, his voice, even his build and weight change quite drastically. Now he looks frail, gaunt, empty, as though there's nothing inside, as though he were but an empty shell, waiting to be occupied. His condition calls for far stricter supervision. This institution is no longer equipped to care for him. I am ordering his immediate transfer to St. Dymphna Hospital. Dr. Former, a specialist in matters such as this, will take him under his care. As I near the end of my tenure as director, I must see this case brought to a decisive close. The blood upon his hands, the emptiness in his eyes, all point to an act of the gravest kind. One his mind appears to have erased entirely. God help us, if the Shadow should ever wake again.
Well, I'm
So
pretty
it
sure...
seems Walter came back to the sanatorium of his own accord,
Yeah?
though he was utterly incapable of recalling what he'd done. They moved him to St. Dymphna's Hospital. Could he still be there after 20 years? What became of him? I'll have to follow this lead.
Okay. Is it the same hospital I woke up in? The missing piece. The visit to Old Sanatorium had left more questions than answers. The pieces didn't fit scattered fragments of a puzzle missing in center. That one elusive detail, the thread that could unravel everything,
Seek fluid intake.
remained just out of reach. Perhaps the modern hospital held the final clue, the last chance to shed light on the mystery still shrouded the death of Elodie Forsyth. I mean, the only mystery that really remains is why he snapped and killed her. We know who. No, the second mystery. The actual mystery is why the mother, who knows that he killed her, sent us on this wild goose chase, even though she knows exactly who killed her daughter. Why are we here is the biggest mystery.
That man returned to the new sanatorium, remembering practically nothing. Maybe it was the wound Lady Margaret left him. Or maybe his mind shattered and never came back after what happened that night. As for me, I was hired to find the one who killed Elodie Forsyth, and my intuition told me they were still there, in the depths of St. Dymphna. I sensed that the end of the road was waiting for me in that place.
There are definitely holes in this writing and story, not to mention the sloppy writing mistakes I've been finding on the whole game. But we'll see how it all ends. Hopefully soon. Was it the same hospital we were in? Yes, it is. It's exactly the same hospital we were in. And we actually gathered all the... The room is decorated with the resemble bridge of a ship, with a sort of makeshift helm tied to the bed. Torn out pages from a book are hidden in the very corner of the room. Written on the wall is the phrase Stella Marie, as though it were the name of the ship. I thought the name of the ship was a different ship. In the attic, a pair of scissors lay beside clumps of coarse dark hair and the remnants of a beard, all signs of a remarkable and settling discovery. It was here that Elodie shaped patient 1365, physically and perhaps psychologically into the man known as Walter Brandon, when began an act of transformation and blossomed to something far more intimate. Elodie's room is elderly decorated with the cutouts of park, palm trees and cardboard islets, creating a tropical atmosphere that matches the book found in the library in Walter's room. The letter written by Elodie to Walter describes the plan for him to leave the asylum after her own departure, with the intention of meeting again in Bloomsbury Manor. The note also mentions someone called the Shadow, described as a dangerous being that seems to haunt Walter Brandon. Who or what is the Shadow? Dr. Morley reports the patient 1365 returned months after his release. Disoriented, apathetic, covered in blood and mud, with a head wound. Walter Brandon is gone, and the Shadow is well, he notes. The patient with no memory had similarly found his way through the forest instinctively. He was transferred to St. Nymph Asylum. On your mind, I could be playing Mass Effect now, but I'm still here. Well, unfortunately, we have finished Mass Effect in its entirety. I mean, besides the Andromeda that I'm not planning to play right now. I have been thinking I could be playing Valorant. Since I haven't played Valorant in many weeks.
Can't very well saunter in through the front door as if nothing's amiss. I'll need to
Why
find
not?
another way in.
You're a detective just discharged from this hospital. Why can't you enter from through the... Why? What I'll do next? Next, we are playing Alan Wake 2. The final draft. Finally, the final draft I will try. There's a bit of logistical wafa I need to deal with to actually do it. So we're going into Alan Wake. Then we're going into a couple story games that's gonna be releasing this. What the hell is that? Why is there a hole in this glass? Month. And then we'll see.
It's locked.
Can't wait to see original. Like, yeah. It's gonna be more horror for me. If you feel torn, you're missing. Thank you. Keys. Annette, I've stored the copy of the dispensary keys to your request in the storage room, file cabinet, Lisa. The swimming doctor. Ooh. Can we read that? I would like to read that, please. No. I said I want to read the shortlist swimming doctor. Oil sports. Finally, an interesting piece of literature in this whole game.
It's locked.
I didn't even try the door, to be honest. I can see her there. Which means she can see me. He once dated a vampire who dealt with death magic. He was quite a necromancer. Was he now? What key was that? I'm just picking random keys with no info. You do love the jokes. Oh, it's our employer again, isn't it? This time I couldn't pick up the phone. So weird. Why am I doing this? Why couldn't I just go through the front door or ask them about the patient? Why do I need to sneak around? What's the purpose of this? I don't understand. Well, this looks like his room. But that's actually my room. Wait. Wait. Huh? Uh-oh. It can be. That can be the answer. No way. No way. They wanna tell me that it's been me the whole time? Okay, let's see. The call is coming from inside the house. Bruh. Oh, thank you.
John Morley and the case of the red shoes.
Yep.
What the devil does this mean?
This means that you are the person who killed Elodie. Hi there, Mom.
That fateful night, I was startled by the noise. Those wretched cries of agony from dear Elodie. I rushed to her chambers, and there you stood.
Yeah.
Stained with the blood of the one soul I cherished above all others in this world.
Will you kill me now?
The housekeeper had warned me, but I turned a deaf ear. Elodie was finally happy, even amidst your incessant bouts of volatility. Yet, With the passage of time, your demeanor darkened. More and more frequently, that sinister presence lurking within you began to surface, each appearance more violent than the last. Elodie no longer gazed upon you with the starry-eyed affection of a smitten young woman. The atmosphere in this house grew suffocating, fraught with an unbearable tension. That very afternoon I spoke with her. She had resolved to end your engagement. You seemed, or so I dared hope, to have accepted it with grace. But that night, that very night, you ended her life in the most savage manner imaginable. I threw myself upon Elodie, desperate to save her. But alas, it was far too late. Months later, I learned you had returned voluntarily to the sanatorium. I sought answers and immersed myself in understanding the afflictions that plagued you. Dissociative identity disorder, they called it.
DID.
A condition in which one might host multiple identities, each vying for dominion over the body. But the man confined in that bleak institution was not the shadow, not the fiend who had stolen my daughter. No.
Daughter.
He was but the shell, the hapless vessel. And I yearned to find the true culprit, not the facade, the murderer himself. Thus I devised my plan. I came to visit you, and just as Elodie had done, I crafted a new role for you, a new identity to inhabit. I brought books, personal artifacts, penned letters as Penny. I leased an office and prepared every detail meticulously, down to the smallest thread, for your return as John Morley. Everything had to be flawless. And why, you may ask? To make you remember, to awaken the shadow, to summon forth the murderer from the abyss of your fractured mind. John Morley is a good man. Walter Brandon was a spirited young sailor brimming with love for Elodie. But the shadow was a merciless, unrepentant killer. I wanted to destroy the murderer who had stolen my daughter. But I could never bring myself to harm an innocent man. My obsession, my singular purpose, was to awaken the shadow.
Did you succeed? There he is. Oh! You gotta be kidding me. Okay then. Indeed. Indeed. Well, okay, I stay corrected. They did finish the story in a sense that makes, in a way that makes sense. Would have thought it was last case because he died. Yeah, I thought he died in a different way. The thing about this game is, in the very beginning we do die, kinda, but that was a dream apparently. Well then. if I can get my thoughts in order for this game. About this game. Well, first let's get it out of the way. I would never have played it if I knew about the use of AI. Let's be honest. I mean, it's my fault. I should have looked at the Steam page more closely, but I like to avoid spoilers for games, so I usually don't look at descriptions and stuff. Yeah, so I missed it, which is how we get here. I'm also super bad at noticing the AI textures and images because I'm so used to like gibberish in 10-year-old games that use the copy stamp photographs that just it feels the same. I mean, the AI was fed on it, so I'm super bad at noticing the actual AI textures, so it took me probably 3 hours to get sus of this game. And by the time I did, I think my completionist compulsion kicked in. And I don't know. It felt worse to quit. Sorry. It felt worse to quit halfway through than to just stick with it and see where it goes. I mean, probably if it was like more outrageous, if it was like AI voices, if I had complete certainty that the text was AI generated, I probably would have quit anyway. But I think that at least the Steam page said that the AI use was minimal in some background textures and stuff, and everything else was created by humans. Still, would not have supported this game if I knew about it, but what's done is done. And speaking of which, about the Steam description page and the 3-hour mark, I am still salty about the fact that I expected a 2-hour non-horror game and I got stuck with 4-hour horror game. Since I was specifically looking for something short today, after a long break, to ease me in, not to like jumpstart me into the horror streaming. Anyway, about the story. I actually did like the twist at the end. Then now with the call coming from inside the house. But now I feel like I have to sit here and think about all those little things that annoyed me in the storytelling and that felt like holes. Plot holes or like convenient plot devices, game devices that felt weird to me in the moment. Do they make more sense now that we know the ending? I don't know if they do. They might. Like, for example, when we get the green memory reenactments thingies, right? In my mind, I was like, well, why do we know these things? Why do we get this information we're not supposed to actually know just by looking at the scene? But if we look at it from the point that we actually remembering it, that he was there and that's why he knows it, even though he's like pretending he's just reading the scene and the clues, then it makes more sense. But then again, that won't work with everything because there were scenes with just Lady Margaret with the green memory thingy. And I don't know he was supposed to know that. To be fair. Well, it is a game. I also have a question. Why did the PDF file doctor discharge Walter? And then quote-unquote Walter, if he knew that A, that Walter was a personality that you'd assumed from a fiction book, and B, the doctor was obsessed with the same girl that the Walter was obsessed with. And you think he would like do more to keep them apart, not just, oh yeah, she gave him a new personality, now they're in love. Go away. Like, I thought the doctor would have more fire in his ambition to get a barely adult wife. of blue bloods. Who knows? Also, what do you mean the psychiatric patient returns? The psychiatric patient returns to the clinic covered in someone else's blood, and the doctor is like, "Oh, I will record it, but I was not reported to the police. We'll not question this. We're just gonna hospitalize them in different clinic, and that's all." Like, what? In what world would that make sense? Especially since we do know that the doctor did not have any warm and fuzzy feelings towards Walter. He would have connected the dots that he killed the girl and he still hid him. I don't know. Like, some parts of the story definitely don't make as much sense as I would like them to. The prefrontal cortex operation from the very beginning makes much more sense, though. Unless those fellows were also fake, and the nurse was fake, which we don't know. Also, why did they show us the maintenance guy's stuff in the abandoned asylum, and then we never get any other mention from that maintenance guy? We never interact with him. Like, what's the purpose of that plot thread? I don't know what was supposed to be the point of that. It's these little kind of things that, I don't know, do they make less sense? Do they make more sense? Are they supposed to make any sense? Are they plot holes? Or am I missing something? We can never tell. I don't know, like, I feel like my experience with the game was definitely spoiled and ruined by the lack of LQA at minimum and the use of AI at maximum. I probably could have felt more like immersed in the story if I wasn't constantly like jolted out of it by typos and different spelling and weird words that don't exist and phrases that don't exist in English language, you know? It just like ruins the whole experience, and then you have to sit in there and doubt your reality and are you actually reading something made by a human? But alas, that's the world we live in now. If you want to avoid it, you have to play the games that were released at least 5 years ago, I think. Yeah. Anyway, I can't talk anymore. Anyhow, thank you all for stopping by. Thank you for sticking around through my suffering, through the unexpected horror. I mean, it wasn't that scary, okay? I agree, the game is not that scary. But I think if the game has multiple jump scares, and it has all this creepy atmosphere of abandoned asylums, dudes with knives hunting you, it's supposed to have a horror warning on it. Like, it's supposed to have horror as a genre that is mentioned on the store page. That's my opinion. Anyway, thank you for stopping by and sticking around. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.